Hare Krishna. My name is Rambhoru Brinkman, and I'm a disciple of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, and also the founder and director of Karuna Care Association, which provides education, training, and support for people interested in learning the art and science of creating heart-connecting relationships and communities. I'm the director of St. Camilla's Center for Spiritual Care, Urban Interfaith Chaplaincy Program in inner city Los Angeles, and a board-certified professional chaplain and certified educator of chaplains by the Association of Clinical Pastoral Educators in North America. In ancient India's wisdom texts, such as the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, and others, it explains that the primary duty of the king, or heads of state, or leaders of any kind, is to protect those who are dependent on them, such as their citizens, especially the priests, religious leaders and teachers, children, women, cows, and the elderly. And this would include all other types of vulnerable people, such as the mentally or physically ill. Mahatma Gandhi used to say that the true measure of a society's humanity is how they treat the most vulnerable. So what does it mean to give protection? In the Cambridge Dictionary, it defines protection as keeping someone or something safe from injury, damage, or loss. So in considering the United Nations 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence, we want to think about how the United Nations defines violence against women. The United Nations defines violence against women as any act of gender-based violence that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, or mental harm or suffering to women, including threats of such acts, coercion, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty, whether occurring in public or in private life. There are many types of gender-based violence. Physical violence, for a start, involves hurting or trying to hurt a partner, or hitting, kicking, burning, grabbing, pinching, shoving, slapping, hair pulling, biting, denying medical care, or forcing alcohol and or drug use, or using other physical force. It may include property damage. Another kind of gender-based violence is verbal violence, which can include put-downs of another person's private or in front of others, ridiculing, the use of swear words that are especially uncomfortable for one's partner, saying bad things about one's partner, or their loved ones, threatening them with violence as well. Psychological violence, which involves causing another fear by intimidation, threatening physical harm to oneself, partner, or children, destruction of one's partners, pets, and property, playing mind games, or forcing isolation from friends, family, school, and or work. Sexual violence includes assault, like rape, sexual assault with implements, being forced to watch or engage in pornography, enforced prostitution, and being made to have sex with friends of the perpetrator. Socioeconomic violence includes taking away the earnings of the victim, not allowing them to have a separate income, giving a partner housewife status, or making them work in a family business without a salary, or making the victim unfit for work through targeted physical abuse. And then domestic violence, which includes physical, sexual, or emotional abuse, such as sexual coercion and stalking by a current or former intimate partner. Finally, harassment and sexual harassment, which includes unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical harassment of a sexual nature in the workplace or another public space. So all types of gender-based violence are considered to be characteristics of a person with demonic nature. A demoniac person is described in the Bhagavad Gita as arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, and ignorance, and they belong to the demonic nature. Those who are demonic do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither proper behavior nor truth is found in them. They say that this world is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. The demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. The demoniac takes shelter of insatiable lust, pride, and false prestige, and being thus illusioned are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection, nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. This is from Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 16. So if we compare the duty of a Vedic or pious society to be to protect the vulnerable, women, children, elders, Brahmins, and cows, to the nature of a demoniac person, we see clearly that gender-based violence comes under the category of demoniac behavior. Research shows that children who are raised in a family where there is gender-based domestic abuse, witnessing any kind of violence, particularly seeing their mother being beaten or abused, will hinder their physical and emotional health and well-being for the rest of their lives. It will also make it more likely that a child will become an abuser as an adult. In Ireland, there's a saying, the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. And this is coming from a poem that praises motherhood as the preeminent force for change in the world. Women, particularly mothers, have a decisive influence on the future direction of society because they raise and nurture the next generation. Healthy families where women and children flourish, being protected in a safe environment, are the foundation of any moral and pious culture. A central teaching in Bhakti Yoga, a spiritual path, is to practice ahimsa, which means to do no harm. And there are 3 aspects of practicing ahimsa. Do not harm another's physical body. Do not harm or hurt another's feelings by speaking against them with our words. And do not harm others with our minds by thinking ill of others. As devotees of Krishna, it is a primary aspect of our spiritual practice to aspire to avoid harming or hurting any living being with our minds, bodies, or words. And this is the essence of yoga practice. Gender-based violence is preventable, and therefore religious organizations, as representatives of Krishna in this world, have an essential duty to provide shelter and protection to those who have been subjected to abuse. In the same way that Krishna married 16,108 wives of the demon Narakasura, who were enslaved, dishonored, abused, and exploited by him for his personal enjoyment, all of us who claim to be a Vaishnava must endeavor to give shelter to victims of gender-based violence. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,